Okay, I think I got. So, good evening, everyone. Let me turn my camera on too, being impersonal. This is our first meeting of CSTA Georgia for this year, 2021, which is odd because we're virtual and it's just been one of those years. So it's been interesting, very interesting. This is interesting. So try not to hold y'all too long. So I'm gonna show you the agenda. Just give me 1 second to share my screen. So I wanted to start out first by introducing our board, which is myself, Teresa Yarborough, President, Vice President Dennis Kramlich, Treasurer Rhonda Carpenter-Powell, Higher Ed Liaison Deepa Muraljohar, and Chapter Leader is Pam Whitlock. Later on in this meeting, we'll discuss having elections in December. So if you're interested, put your name out there, but we'll talk about that after the two presentations. We'll go ahead and get started with Brian Cox from Georgia Department of Education. Y'all already know him, I'm pretty sure. So he has some updates to give you and probably some more information that you would like to hear about computer science and where we're going in Georgia. So I'll turn it over to Brian.
Wow, okay. Hi, everybody, good afternoon. Welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my first time coming to a CSTA meeting, and even when I was a computer science teacher, wasn't a member of CSTA, but I recognized the value in CSTA because of my time as an isolated computer science teacher in the building where nobody else knew what I was doing, not the administrators, not the other people in my department, not the other people on my hallway. Unless you were one of the students in my class, you didn't know what was going on inside the computer science classroom. And that kind of also limited my support structure. So I think it's important that we continue to support and grow CSTA locally. I think this grouping, this collaboration can really become a mainstay in Georgia and something that is invaluable in regards to us having a unified voice for computer science. Let's see, what updates do we have? Well, I don't know if you all know, but we have a grant that's currently available that has 2 more days. If you have not received the CS for Georgia capacity grant, the last day to turn that in is the 24th of September, so that is Thursday. So it's a district level grant, and the large majority of the funds, 85% of the funds, is geared towards building teacher capacity. So paying for teachers to get training, to go to conferences, to get credentialed via an endorsement, or to reimburse you for taking the GACE or things like that. So if you don't know if your district has applied, I'd say reach out to someone, your CTA director or someone at the district level, to make sure that they apply for the grant. We aspire to have this grant several more years going forward, but we never know. So get in while you can. Let's see, what else do we have as updates? We're working on some very exciting projects, working on some data science, some esports, Python. So hopefully we'll have some more information about those projects as far as potential courses within the next couple of months. What else? Oh, that's somebody talking to Mama B. Let's see what else. I just saw the other day that the next course for computer science, our virtual professional development courses, is available. So there's a programming module out now. So now we should have 3 courses that are available with more to come. So the first 2 are based on the 2 domains for the GACE. So the data domain has a course now, and now the programming domain has a course. And we also have a course called Planning a Computer Science Classroom for beginning teachers that need things to consider. Let's see, what else? We are working to increase the number of implementation workshops that we put on, and Lynn may get into that when she talks. But implementation workshops include an entire computer science team from your district. We've done some. We did one with the Southwest RISA last month, and with the Chattahoochee Flint RISA the month before. And we've done a couple, and we did one in last November at the Computer Science Summit. We did one with the Muskogee County area, so all the districts in that area. I think it's a pretty good training. I don't know if anybody else is on the call has participated, but you ostensibly walk away with a plan for computer science, how to implement it, including what your plans are for teacher capacity, for building partnerships, for building community, for choosing curriculum. So there's a lot of different facets to that. So if you're interested in participating or having your district participate in that training, let me know, or you can let Lynn know, and we'll find some time to get you scheduled in your district schedule to do that training. Let's see, what else? It's always a bunch of different things going on. I just have to kind of put them in my head. But yeah, I think that's it as far as the updates. Computer science has taken a quantum leap forward in the past 2 years, whereas before that, it was often offered as an elective in high school. It's now a graduation credit. It's now a K-12 discipline. There are standards as far down as kindergarten and as high up as 12th grade. There's lots of dual enrollment opportunities. I wrote an article for the Curriculum and Instruction newsletter a couple of years ago that said that the computer science pathway in high school might be the strongest sequence of courses you can take in the education system because it offers so many different opportunities to students. It offers post-secondary higher ed opportunities. It offers straight to industry opportunities. It offers entrepreneurial opportunities. Students that go through any CTAE pathway graduate from school at a 96% clip. So you're more likely to graduate from high school if you engage in those opportunities. Like there's just so many rich ways to, some of the courses in computer science can culminate a CTAE pathway and an academic pathway, whether it's science or a foreign language or anything like that. So there's just so many opportunities for your students. And then of course, our society as a whole is moving and shifting towards a digital landscape. So I view the computer science teachers as quite possibly the most powerful, or probably one of the more salient individuals in the school building at this time, because they have the keys to the future for our students. So kudos to you all, and anything that I can do to support and help you along the way, if it's finding scholarships or looking for grants, or connecting you with another computer science teacher that's teaching the same thing, or anything like that, just let me know. Aisha, the capacity grant, you can go to the Georgia DOE website, so godot.org/computer science. And there's a link for that, a link on there.
I just have to line next to that.
Good job, Deanna.
Any other questions? Let's see, somebody said, where's the information to sign up for those courses? Yeah. So those online courses are, and it's hard for me to specifically pinpoint it because you all have a different perspective than I do, but they're available through your student information system. So if you go to your Infinite Campus, there should be a tab for SLDS. And if you go to that tab, there should be one that says PL. And again, I don't know if it's Infinite Campus or Power School, it's available to everybody in the state. But if you go to the PL, type in computer science, those courses should pop up. Now, I did notice this morning that the data course wasn't popping up. So I reached out and I'm trying to get our instructional technologists to fix that. So they should pop up. But the programming course did come up, and the planning and computer science classroom popped up.
Hey,
Someone's asking about, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if you could put that link to the grant info.
Oh, yep.
That would be awesome.
I'll do that right now.
Sorry,
Oh,
Teresa.
I think Brandon just did it.
No problem.
Brandon beat me to it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brandon. Also, with that capacity grant, if your district folks, because it's a form, so it's a Microsoft form that you fill out. If you want to see a PDF version so that you can see all the questions before you fill out the form, shoot me an email and I can get that to you post haste. bcox@doe.k12. I'll put it in the chat.
All right, any other questions for Brian before we move on? Thank you, Brian, for all the information, especially about the training and the endorsement that's coming up, which I think a lot of people need that. I'm taking advantage of the endorsement program. So if anybody wants any information about that, I can give it to you if you just email me. But there's a lot of endorsements programs going on around Georgia, even in some of the counties. So, all right, next we'll go ahead.
I said, there's some more endorsement programs coming.
Oh yeah, and they're coming.
Merce was making one. I was contacted by Kennesaw about them starting theirs up again. And I'm working on a project with Georgia State that hopefully will make their endorsement easier to digest. Like, we're going to take half of it and make it available via Georgia Virtual, and then you can finish it up at Georgia State. So that's, I can talk more about that project later on, but we're just getting started.
I think Georgia State has a study group too for the test, right?
Oh.
I know somebody else doing it, I think. Don't hold me to that. But there's a lot of information around Georgia for you if you need to get your endorsement or take the test. So just look out for it, and we can try to help you find the information if needed. All right, next will be Lynn Diaz from Constellations, Georgia Tech Constellations.
Thank you, Teresa. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here and to be a part of this group. I actually have a team of fellows. They're really like instructional specialists. Yolanda Payne is on, Sababu Barashango, and Terry Foster. They work directly with computer science teachers in their classrooms, but this year we're doing everything virtually, as you can imagine, because of concerns with COVID. But they are the team at Constellations, and we have pretty much really put a focus on equity in computing education, and working with Brian, CS for Georgia, and Teresa as well, to build community with teachers. And so we're here today really to, just help make this group stronger, and to, expand access to computing. One of the ways that we're doing that is, as Brian mentioned, we are going to be conducting district CS implementation workshops throughout the upcoming year. And our goal is to reach at least 80% of the school districts in Georgia to formulate a plan to implement computer science in their school districts. And Sababu is taking point on that project. Also working with Brian, Terry Foster is assisting to develop online PD courses to be offered via Georgia Virtual. And that project just started. Terry is taking point on that, and we're figuring out the framework and the the process for completing those courses. Brian, I would say within the next 12 months or so, 8 to 12 months or so, because there's quite a few courses that have been put on the list for teachers. And so again, these would be on Georgia Virtual for free for teachers to use as part of professional development. And then the last thing that we are incorporating in terms of collaborating with CS for Georgia and the Georgia DOE is working directly with CSTA and the Georgia chapter to fold in and integrate and make sure that we are including Georgia teachers in our workshops, and Yolanda is taking lead on that part. She is going to make sure that teachers know about all of our workshops. For example, we're conducting a virtual workshop on November 11th to focus on ideas for CSED week, because we all know like CSED week is, you know, the prime week to elevate CS in our schools and get kids excited about it, and also, you know, get the buy-in that we need from leaders, principals to do CS in our schools. So Yolanda will make sure that everybody gets that information. We also host a summer summit, or we'll be hosting a summit in the summer as well for teachers. Right now, we do not anticipate that there will be any registration fees. We want to offer this and make it as accessible as possible for all teachers that would like to attend. And this last summit that we held, we had over 60, maybe close to 70 presenters. It was over 3 days, jam-packed, and it was a blast. Some of you all on the call today were presenters yourself. I hope that you will sign up again to present, and we would like to invite this group to also, you know, sign up to present if, you know, if that's something you're interested in. You can reach out to any one of us for more information. Other than that, I, you know, would just want to give Yolanda, Sababu, and Terry just a few seconds to also introduce themselves as part of the Constellations team. So Yolanda, you want to just introduce yourself and say a quick few words?
Hi, everyone. I noticed a question in the chat. Yes, I'll be happy to include anyone that would like information on our workshop on November the 11th. It will be after school. We have not determined the exact time, but that information will be forthcoming. I just wanted to say I'm so glad to see you all here tonight.
Babu?
All right, greetings. I am Sababu Shakabar Shongo. I've been in education for 21 plus years as a mathematics and computer science educator, and now I'm part of the Constellations Fellows team.
And Terry, I know you're here.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Terry Foster. I have been in CS education for almost 10 years now. Prior to that, I worked in the industry as a programmer and project manager. I'm happy to be here this evening. It's great to see so many familiar names and faces like Brandon, Murray, and also Keith Gilliam, who actually, when I was going through the process of becoming a computer science teacher back in 2011, with this program that we had at Georgia Tech, he was actually one of my mentor teachers. I think at the time he was at Reed Ann High School. So it's great to see you on here, Mr. Keith Gilliam.
That's awesome. I also just wanted to say that we usually like to share resources out. I mean, that's what we like to do, to share resources out to as many teachers as possible. Like, for example, here in Georgia, there are, you know, there's plenty of resources. I just don't think that that information, you know, gets to teachers in the way we would like it to. So we have a website. We're going to put up more of those resources on our website and hopefully keep that as updated as possible. But a recent one that just came across my desk is we all love Scratch, right? And we think that's one of the, you know, great ways to get kids started with coding. Particularly what we're looking for is to expand computer science in the middle school and trying to find, you know, some good ways to do that at the middle school level before they get to high school so that they have some of that experience. Skillshot has actually offered to provide access to a brand new course that they just developed using Scratch, brand new course, and I'm going to put that information in the chat because there's like a code. So if you'd like to take a look at that and get that, share it out, it's free. If you use the code, it's free. So students would sign up and immediately start learning how to use, Scratch on their own. In this time of virtual schooling, that might be a good way to, a good resource to share out with the teachers that to get kids started at the middle school. Other than that, again, we're really happy to be a part of these conversations and help the Georgia CSTA chapter grow, become stronger, build community. Terry, Sababu, and Yolanda are also here to assist with information or any needs that you might have. Thanks, Teresa, for giving us the time.
All right, that's no problem. Did y'all have any questions for Lynn? Or anything? All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on the agenda. Like I said, I'm trying not to keep everyone too long to the announcements. There will be a Siege College Fair on November 12th, I think, and I have the link to give out. Siege stands for Southern Interactive Entertainment and Gaming Expo. I had to read it because it's so long and I always mess it up. And then it will be hosted by Andrew Greenberg, who is the president of the Georgia Game Developers Association. I've done this fair a few times and I love it. It's a lot of information for your students about colleges. Kennesaw State was there. All of your colleges that have computer science were there. I want to say, what was the other one? Columbus. And then they also have industry or corporations there for students to talk to and learn more about computer science and future careers. Of course, this year it will be virtual, so it's free. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and sign up for that. Again, I recommend it for your students. They're gonna have during the day a session where they go over what computer science is, what gaming is, because it is gaming. The majority of it is gaming, but it also incorporates other things as well. And in the evening, if you have students that's interested in talking to colleges one-on-one, they'll be able to sign up and do that in the evening. And I think it was around 7 because I'm signing my son up for it. He wants to go into computer science. So the link is in the chat. If you're interested, feel free to sign up. If you have any questions about it, you can shoot me an email or ask in the box and I'll answer it. Like I said, I've done it before and I recommend it. So I think it's a pretty good program for your students. And then the next thing on the agenda, I wanted to announce that in December, we will hold elections for the board. We need to fill some positions, but also if you're interested in running for one of the positions, of course, you have president, vice president, secretary. We also have higher ed leads, which we don't have, I don't think anyone is in here with that, that's in the university system. Then you also have, if you want industry representation, you can have that as well. There are several positions and I'll put it out in the email. So if you're interested, think about it, start considering it, and just let us know if you want to run for a position. So any questions over the election? Again, it'll be in December and then the position will start in January. All right, I was gonna open it up at the end for questions and suggestions. We would like to hear from you on suggestions of things you wanna see as far as PD. I know a lot of us need some professional development. Myself, I'm not perfect in teaching computer science. I wasn't voluntold because I was interested in it, but it's not my background. So I'm still learning, and I know a lot of you are too. My background was business and economics and accounting. I did management and all of that before coming into teaching. And I've taught the rainbow of business education from the at-risk students all the way to business law, accounting, you name it, I've taught it under the business umbrella. So I myself need some extra PD and I know you do as well. So if you wanna put in the chat or unmute yourself, ask questions or give suggestions of things you wanna see, feel free to do so at this time. And I don't want to put anybody on the spot. So, Helen, are you interested in doing the computer part later on? I mean, the technical higher ed part. I see you're at Athens Technical College. And you can unmute, that's fine. Okay, I'll put you down for. And that's
Teresa, I'm sorry, this is Batavia. I'm in the car, I apologize.
Okay.
I work part-time at Clayton State, and our new department chair is very interested in partnering with the schools on the south side of I-20. He is adamant. He wants to build the CS program at Clayton State. I didn't even know that we had a game development program until he came on board.
Right.
But I would like to assist in any way possible.
Okay. I think I put in the chat to shoot me an email too. Send it to shoot me an email and I'll look out for it. Like I said earlier, I get millions of emails, so I'll do better at going through everything and sorting them out. But shoot me an email, that'll be perfect. I think someone else was trying to speak.
No
Great.
problem.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just going to offer up that at Georgia Tech, we would love to offer professional development. And if we find that there's enough interest for a K through 8 track, then we will do PD for K through 8 as well. And so I see, I don't want to mispronounce it. Is it Aisha or Aisha? I'll send you my information and we can talk more about that too. And then Brian answered as well.
Hey, Teresa, if at some point there is a way to share information about the needs of, middle school or K-8 or high school teachers across the state, that would be great if we could share that information, or, maybe Brian and I could come up with a way to help capture that information somehow. And that way we can all be sharing that information. And, we've been talking about supporting middle school and elementary teachers. But I think we need a little bit more information about who these teachers are and what their needs might be. So we can work on that, with you. And I know, like, I just saw Tracy's on the call too. And, Tracy's got a lot of that information as well too, particularly at the high school level. We'd love to all get connected and see how we can align our work to support teachers.
And Tracy's part of the TEALS program,
Yeah.
which I've done that too. It's great. My volunteer was wonderful, so I learned a lot from my volunteer. So that might be something people would be interested in. So, I mean, y'all have a lot of resources online. So just, ask questions, tap into it. Lots and lots of resources.
And TEALS is going to be greatly expanding in Georgia this coming year, especially in populations that are underrepresented. So if you guys are looking for support for next school year, TEALS is going to try to do about twice as many schools. So especially I'm really interested in that corridor south of I-20 also, because I live in that general area, but also in downtown Atlanta and areas around there. So if anybody wants something more information about TEALS, I'll drop my email in the chat for you too.
Mm-hmm. And again, feel free to email us. I'm laughing because feel free to follow up, because like I said, I get millions and millions of emails. So I'm not ignoring you. It just means I'm getting emails from you and my school and all the other people and all the committees I'm on. So, please just follow up. Please. It's not, I'm not ignoring you. Just please follow up. Y'all know how it is. That's why all y'all laughing. I'm looking at the faces. Everybody laughing and nodding. Yes, please just please follow up because I'm not ignoring you. I promise.
Can I point out that unlike it has been in the past, I think Georgia has a wealth of resources and people that are invested in growing computer science. So you don't have to feel like you don't have opportunities or support or anything like that. A lot of the folks on the call are members of CS for Georgia as well, which is a larger network that includes teachers, but also includes PD professionals, folks from the Chamber of Commerce, and all over all the different contexts, because there's a huge concerted effort to grow computer science in Georgia. So you should never feel like there's no support or that there's nobody out there, that you're talking to a vacuum. And I think this call is representative of that there are so many people here that represent all these different contexts and supports that you have available to you. So this is great.
And
Please
one thing
reach out to
I
us.
really like, Brian, is that we're all here to help. So you don't have to pick one of us. You know, if I have something that I can help you with, but I'll also point you over to Lynn if she has something that'll be better. We're very non-competitive on the PD side. So just because you're in one program doesn't mean that you can't be in multiple programs or taking advantage of multiple resources. So, and I'm a former CS teacher. I taught in Coweta County for 13 years. So please tap my resources. I'm always around.
I do have a question concerning, like, not so much PD, but, well, yeah, I guess it is PD. You know, most of us probably have like master's degrees. I personally would like to continue my education, maybe with a specialist program. I definitely do not want to do a doctorate. I do not want to write a dissertation or type up a dissertation. That's just not in the cards for me. But are there any plans on like improving how we can increase our certifications? Because we can all go get all these endorsements and all this training and stuff, but if our districts are not even going to look at that as bettering ourselves, we're going to be stuck at a certain pay level, if that makes sense.
Definitely it does. So I've talked to, so my first thing to talk to the education schools in Georgia is about having pre-service programs. And that's just thinking long-term, building up to teacher capacity of the state. But I've definitely continued to talk to more schools. And I think it depends on as we get more teachers that are interested in this as an opportunity, we'll get more programs. Right now, I know of one program, the one at Columbus State, that has a master's in computer science education. I think it's a master's in computer science with a specialty in education. But something like that would be what I guess you're talking about. But have those more widely available across the state. I think the endorsement is like the first step, because we just need more teachers that have a teaching credential. And I think once higher ed schools see that there are more teachers that would want to go that next step beyond that, they'll start to create those programs. And us being in a pandemic that requires everybody to go digital doesn't hurt the motivation of that either, because now people are starting to recognize how valuable this school set is. But I completely understand and agree.
Hey, Brian, it's Sally. Along those same lines, like talking about creating these degree programs for CS education, I mean, obviously, I work in Gwinnett, so we're pretty large. We maybe have a higher demand of teachers than other districts, but we are seeing a big demand.
Yeah, because I already have my master's. I actually have 2 master's degrees.
My question is, what's the number? Like, what do we need to get to in terms of demand for us to start creating programs like that? And how can we advocate and be a part of that process?
I work for one of the local universities part-time, and I think that's going to be a university question, not necessarily something Brian's going to be able to answer. I know that I'm adjuncting for UWG or West Georgia, this semester teaching them, and they're in a budget crisis right now. So I just sat through a meeting where they said they're not really adding a lot of programs, but the computer science endorsement is one of the ones they are considering. I think it'd be reaching out to the universities and showing them that they would be a student base for that. Some of the higher ed people don't necessarily know that there is that much of a push for it.
But I would think also with the legislation that came through to have a teacher in every school, CS teacher in every school by 2025 would be a huge selling point, because that's a lot of teachers that you need. And then of course, a lot of teachers don't have the background, such as, like I said, myself, don't have the background, so you would need it. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe you can go with that argument as well.
Now, one of the challenges that I've heard is that, and thinking about like the one at Columbus State, is that that program is a computer science program. Like, so you have to have the prerequisite courses in computer science in order to be involved in that master's level program. And then the specialty is education. So there's a lot of prerequisite courses that you would have to have in order to be involved.
I guess it's just something to think about, and I'm willing to join the team and be an advocate or whatever that looks like. But I mean, it is a need, and it sounds like it's being expressed here in this call as well. But thinking, how can we be strategic to partner with our higher education, partners and create these programs? Because we want to have meaningful degree programs, meaningful instructional experiences for our kids. So just long-term thinking, how can we leverage the work we're doing here to do that?
And thinking, Sally, about how to keep teachers that if they get that level of skill set, they're maybe lured to go out the door, as opposed to, can they do something that will earn them extra money as a teacher? So while we were talking, I thought about the fact that we could, so I do plan on approaching the USG body. I was gonna approach them regarding the pre-service programs, but hearing what you all are talking about, I can definitely add the higher ed as a part of that conversation. And it might be useful to have something from this group to support that advocacy, like to be able to take to the USG folks, to take to the legislature to say, hey, this is what the teachers say they want. They want endorsements, but they also want more than endorsements. They want masters so that they can get higher pay for computer science. And if you want to grow computer science, then that might be something that you want to consider, is being able to pay computer science teachers more with a credential that gets them a higher salary. So maybe, I don't know, Teresa, maybe we could do like a survey for CSTA that would ask these questions about what is it that teachers think would motivate them to get into the computer science field or stay in the computer science field. And this would likely come out as one of the key variables.
Okay.
Hey, Teresa, this is Ko.
Hey.
Hi, everyone. This is Ko Hassan. I am the facilitator for CS for Georgia. So wonderful to hear all your ideas. And I just wanted to mention that, we've been around for a couple of years, but we've been focusing on, with limited capacity, we've been focusing on doing some piloting of ideas and supporting in the back end. We've talked to Teresa a little bit. As we're trying to grow our capacity, one of the things I could offer in this particular conversation is Lynn, Brian are part of the CS for Georgia Policy Coalition. So that's made up of people who specialize in figuring out what kind of policy approaches, strategies make sense. And there are different chambers of commerce people, folks that are education advocates full-time, that's what they do. This is one of the things they've taken on, is they care about it for Georgia. So we can maybe, Lynn, Brian, talk to that group and say, these are some ideas and concerns, hopes that the teachers have. What would their recommendations be in terms of how do you get to what, if this is what the teachers want, what are the best ways to achieve that if we're trying to use a policy approach, whether it's trying to get colleges or universities to do something, or other strategies. So let's find out from them, maybe Brian, Lane, if they seem to have their finger on the pulse of how the legislature and the whole policy-making body process works. That's how we were able to get support for the SB 108 grant that got some money to the districts and some support and mandates as well, which both create a need and a demand for you all. So hopefully we're getting there, and we'll try to get more resources, and we'll keep listening to you guys, and then try to see if we can support you guys. And the schools and the districts are essentially the focus of who we want to support. So we'll keep listening to you and the districts and the schools, and keep trying to get to where you want to get to. Thank you.
And I'm looking in the chat too. People are asking about RISAs. I put it in the chat. I'm currently at Middle. Did I put that right? Middle Georgia RISA, and they offer an endorsement, CS endorsement, if you don't want to go for another degree. And I'm not going for another degree. I'm done. So, if you want to do, just get an endorsement or get your credential, you can go to one of the RISAs. Again, I'm at Middle Georgia RISA. So. And I will say the RISAs are cheaper than universities. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but it is from what I see. But I think some of the universities offer more classes. So I don't know if you want to do that as well, just to get more under your belt. So that's just some information. All right, y'all have any other questions or concerns or suggestions? So I think we got a lot of good information today. Hopefully it helps.
Teresa, do we have a website with all of this information that we've discussed for tonight? Like, I learned about the meeting from another teacher. I'm a part of CSTA. I'm a Plus member, been to conferences, but I didn't get the email about the meeting today.
We're working on the website, and you're not on the distribution list. I can add you. If you're a member, you should be on the distribution list.
Like I said, I didn't see the email, but I'll email you this evening with that information.
That's fine.
I'm not. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would also say that as we were, reviewing the information, the teacher list. We don't have all of the data just yet. I think we might have just gotten that, but it looked like a lot of the information hadn't been updated in a while. And so there may be, teachers that have an input, they had, put like older emails or, other information. So I would encourage teachers to update their CSTA information and their profile, and it would make it easier for like Teresa and and the rest of us to be able to connect with you accurately. And we're also trying to, one of the things, Teresa, that we wanted to see if you would be okay with is we'd like to merge our distribution list so that, if you're putting something out, we can also, do the same with the same distribution list. And so that way nobody gets left out, and get the information out to as many teachers as possible. And Yolanda also indicated she would be available to help out with the
She's working on the website. Yeah, we've been talking. Yeah, that's why she's laughing too, because she was like, girl. So we've been talking, and she's been wonderful. So yeah, we're working on the website. So just stay tuned, be patient. We're trying to get things up and running. So.
Hello, everyone. I'm a new member. Glad to be here. I was a little late coming on today. My question is, I know this is being recorded, but will we be able to go back and view this?
I can send it out.
That would be wonderful. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'll send it out. I'll download it and then put it in. You're on the email list?
I am. I got your email. Thank you so very much.
I'll just email it to everybody. If everybody want to see it again, maybe you missed something, want to hear something again, I'll just send it out to everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you could include the chat, because that has the links on it as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna download that too. I keep looking at the button before I click off because I will forget, but I'll do that as well.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Just wanted to introduce myself. Alba Gutierrez. I work at Seismic. I knew a few faces and actually that now I see in the Zoom meeting. So just kind of wanted to introduce myself, just to offer any services that we might be able to support you or help you with. I know Teresa is one of in multiple of our programs, and we have known her for a while. So just wanted to kind of extend that as well. I did put our teach code at seismic.georgiatech.edu email, which is our generic email. And we are the regional partners for code.org. So we have actually done a lot of support with that. But I'm willing to learn more about computer science and how we can actually do. As you all might know by now, Chris Thompson retired. And then Tamara Pearson has left Seismic. So now it's just has been a lot of, I know, Brendan, I see your face, like looking out. So yeah, so it's just been a lot of changes, but as I said, so just let me know if there's anything that we'll be able to help you with.
Alba,
A question about that.
Need to connect. Go ahead, sorry.
Are y'all still doing that GTRI free thing on Saturdays that y'all did last year? I know that we had to stop abruptly because of COVID, but those little Saturday sessions were awesome.
Are you talking about like the for code.org?
No, ma'am. They were. It was through GTRI or something like that.
Okay.
So yes, they are planning to do that series again.
Yes.
I haven't gotten any information about when they're going to start it back up again, but I've talked to several folks from GTRI, and they are very much in the business of supporting computer science and continue to teacher professional development. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure we'll get some updates on that pretty soon.
And don't be surprised if they have to do virtual for a while because of the constraints on campus.
Yes.
Virtual is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
And I've done a lot of things with Seismic too. That's how I learned code. So just look out for information with them. They have wonderful programs. Just FYI.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Teresa. This is Aisha Chadwick. I am glad to be a part of this. I'm at an elementary school now. I've done a lot of different workshops with Seismic. I've been in workshops with Teresa, been in workshops with Brian, and I did the Constellation Summit over the summer. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I can get available for my elementary students. I had a conversation with them today, and they were all talking about what they wanted to do as far as gaming and coding. So we're going to start coding in October. We're going to start with code.org, and then we're going to move forward from there. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what else I can do with them when we get past the code.org courses. So I'm glad to be a part of this.
Aisha, you might want to check out, I know GTRI does Games for Change, where it's like a gaming curriculum, and it's a competition. So in addition to teaching the kids how to, create games, they get to go and compete, and they may go to Georgia Tech and win some prizes. So it's also cool on top of that.
Yes, I was a part of that program. They just emailed me to come back, so I'm gonna go do it. Yes.
Hey, Teresa, this is Brandon. I don't think we've met. I'm new to the state. So I just want to throw out there, I'm a big proponent of open source software and GitHub and all that's going on. And I'd like to maybe put on some sort of PD or just kind of develop like a network there for sharing computer science, professional development, or even just assignment resources, using some of those open source technologies, or even just doing a PD to kind of introduce people who don't really know. And so if you don't mind, I'm just going to put my email in the chat.
That's fine. Quick question too, because I'm speaking from my experience. Does your county support open source? Because mine doesn't. I don't know why. I told them it's free and they said they didn't care. So I'm just asking,
No,
you
okay.
know.
No, they don't. And
Yeah.
there's a misconception that open equals insecure, and that's
Right.
not true. Maybe that was 20 years ago. That's not true anymore, and it's not where the industry's at. And so this is, you know, this is a big thing to me. I personally, you know, feel very strongly about this. And quite frankly, you don't need open source technology to use open source methods. And so kind of what I have in mind is the educational version of open source is what's called open educational resources.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of my hope and my idea and what I'd like to try and help organize is to create open educational resources through open source technologies like GitHub, as a way for teachers to gain familiarity with the platforms, with the technologies, with the processes, and to also provide that open educational community. And if there's any way for us to set up a PD, or to set up kind of like well, we did it during the summer. I tried to create a GitHub group, but basically like a repository of assignments, of notes, of different things that might be useful for teachers. I would like to help out with that, and anyone else, you know, who'd be interested can go and give me an email, because this is something that I'm gonna try to be spearheading for the foreseeable future.
I think it'd be good too. Like I said, it's just the counties, because I was trying to get Eclipse IDE. You're familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
And they told me no. I don't care if it's free, no. So, but it's still good to know, especially for teachers, because I have it on my computer. What's the other one? Processing. I have that one. You know, yeah. But my accounting wouldn't support it. But I can still do it and at least show it to my students if they can't even use it. So,
well,
I think that'll be good. Yeah.
Interesting idea. How do we convince? How do we?
Right.
Okay.
It's going to take all of us to go to our counties and really explain. I think the issue is that the counties have no idea what we teach. They don't understand what CS is. They see it as a buzzword of the day, and they want to go, oh, we want to implement it because there's a need. But like I said, they have absolutely no idea what we do. So until we can, you know, build us up first and then build the students up to really show them the products of what we know and how the kids are you know, putting their projects and stuff like that out there, they're not going to ever necessarily support what we do. So, and it goes like the question I was going to say was, like, I love that the repository thing. Like for me, I struggle with this in the pathway test because my kids, I just struggle with that test. And I know that we're trying to get more tests involved. I know that we've been under audit for a couple of years trying to get more tests and stuff involved. But, and like I said, until the county sees us as, I don't want to say essential employees, but really essential to the workforce, I don't know if we're going to ever be able to really change it anytime soon.
Yeah, I have found that, and I've worked with several districts across the state, and I am a former teacher. Educating the district IT staff is the main key, but you have to talk to the right person. So Teresa's actually, we fought that battle together and lost it in her district because we fought.
Yeah.
Because TILS uses Eclipse and GitHub for a lot of stuff because our volunteers come from industry and we're teaching industry standard stuff. So finding the right person at your district IT and making a friend and doing some educating is definitely necessary because they're used to dealing with teachers that don't know anything about computer science, and they want to limit security risk. I know when I was teaching, I had a teacher in my school that wouldn't change her password, and she opened every virus email that came through the district So she was the cause for a lot of our firewall issues because her password was teacher. And it was teacher for 10 years before I forced her to change it.
No way.
I'm not kidding. And the students knew it. And that was her gradebook password. That was her email password. So it's an education thing. If you get the trust of your IT staff, especially in smaller districts, they're more likely to help you get things approved. So make a friend. Go find someone that is interested, ask them to guest speak in your class, something like that, and start making friends with them, and they'll see what you're doing, that you're doing great things, and then they'll want to be involved and want to help.
To that end, Tracy, we have definitely started adding the IT support people for the school to our workshop, our implementation workshop, because and the counselors as well, because those people are gatekeepers. They're gatekeepers for all education, but more so for computer science than any other content area because of the nature of our discipline. So, you know, if you're going to do some training or some planning, invite them to the planning so that they feel a part of the process at the beginning, so that they know, oh, you're planning on doing this. Oh, you want to do this in the classroom? Let me start to figure out how I can make that happen. So they see that they're a relevant part of the students getting the skills necessary in order to be part of industry.
I also found that if you're not a singleton, I was the only computer science teacher in my district, but if there are others doing the same thing, if you all can ask for the same thing at the same time, that motivates them. If it's just a one-off request, they're going to go, I don't have time for that, and then just kind of chunk it. But if you, I don't know what district you're in, but if you say, like, I live in Carroll County. So if you were in Carroll County's district, if you got all of the high school teachers or all of the middle school teachers to want to use the same software, then you would all go as a group and make that request, and it's much more likely to get noticed and the attention it deserves. But I'll help you with anything I can. If you want somebody from outside to, you know, put an expert opinion on something, let me know. Teals is a Microsoft product or a Microsoft program. So sometimes that helps that I have an email address that has Microsoft at it if we need to find it and use it. So.
All right, there's a question in the chat. Is there a GitHub for the PGAS course?
Batavia, that's Brandon created that CS principles for his. So if you want him to create a PGAS GitHub, you might have to, you know, sequester his.
Oh, maybe we should create like a CSTA Georgia GitHub organization. These are the sort of conversations that I want to have. So let's kind of table it and figure out how to move forward.
Yeah, because I think that's the class that most of us struggle with, because there's not necessarily any cohesion with that course. I know in Clayton, I know that y'all started with a certain in the pathway, and then y'all realized that nobody was passing it, and y'all went to another one. So, I don't know what everybody's, and I think for the most part, everybody takes the what is that? The HTML5.
The MTA.
MTA, yes. You know, I don't. Like I said, I know for me, that's the course that I struggle with the most. And then my kids struggle with it. My pass rate is horrible. So yeah, that's the class could be so much better. That's why I want to help.
We're working on that too, and we may definitely call you in. I hope Terry's taking some notes, because this is something that he and I have been talking about.
I am.
As far as doing some PD, some pathway specific PD.
Also, if you're doing the MTAs, I know Microsoft has just done a big initiative to try to help get those exams more available. So email me and let me see if I can find any there may be some study guides or something. I might find some resources. I'll tap into some people that work on that side of the events.
Has the state paid for the IT Academy stuff, or is that just we just need to kick that to the curb? Does anyone know?
I'm not certain yet, but I'm talking to Delta tomorrow, so I can find out. I believe that they did, I know last time I spoke to her, she said they were working on the contract and that they were going to have to like shave some of the edges, you know, just because of our budget cuts, but that they were going to renew the contract. It was just a matter of how much, and basing it on how many people used that last year versus how much are actually going to need it this year. So that's definitely in the works still.
All right, any other questions or comments?
Hey, Teresa, I'm going to, I'd like to ask if it's okay for teachers to subscribe to our newsletter. And that
That's
way,
fine.
you know, we can make sure, again, with the communications and distribution of information, I'm trying to post a link to
Okay.
our, there. If you sign up for that newsletter, any information that Teresa is wanting to distribute or communicate, we'll post it on our newsletter.
And I can send out a transcript too. I keep looking at this button so I don't forget to hit it before I hit end of the video or the meeting. So I'll do that too. I'll send out a video and the file
Okay.
in the next couple of days.
Awesome.
Oh, if anybody's looking to move to Douglas, I know they're looking for a computer science teacher at the middle school level. Just somebody send me an email the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Lots of opportunities.
I live out this way, but I don't want to teach middle school. Thank you.
No, that's why I went to high school or elementary. They're too clingy for me.
Oh,
I'm sorry. They're so cute, but they're so clingy. All right, there's no other questions. It's dinner time. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. Be safe. If y'all have any questions, feel free to email us. If y'all want to say anything.
Thanks so much, Teresa. This was
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Yeah, this was great.
Alba, I'd like to connect with you about the CSP course in Georgia Tech. So
Yes, let's connect. I put that information on there, so if you want to email me, more than welcome to.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do we have an estimated date for the next chapter meeting?
Oh, I'm thinking late October because we're gonna have a we'll probably have to do two, one in late October for elections. So November they can what is it, campaign for positions, and then in December they'll have elections. That's what I'm thinking, but that's tentative. So if anyone's interested, feel free.
It was great meeting you all. Take care. Bye.
You too.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. I had to.
I was trying to wait a minute before I hit this button. Like I said, I will forget and click off and we won't have anything.
I think we've all done that before.
Go ahead and hit it now. We're in the.
Well, somebody just posted a link, so that's why I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm looking at it though.
Posting all kind of links.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying not to forget to, because I have things coming every way. Like,
right.
Trying to get onto this, but hopefully that'll be a good, resource, and we really appreciate your willingness to be a part of this and help out. So you let us know what you need and where we can help. Okay.
I definitely will.
All right, Brian, I'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah.
Soon. And it's good to see you too, Tracy.
And we definitely will help you with your summer summit. So just let me know what you need. I can do stuff other than TEALS too, if you need me to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. All right. Have a good one, everyone.
All right, you too.
Cheers.
Peace, everybody. Don't forget to hit the button, Teresa.
I'm doing it now. I'm trying to put it somewhere where I can find it. Like I said, I'm clumsy and absent-minded. I've, click, click, and it's gone.
Technology can help with all of that. You can, so technology can help with that. It can help ensure that you do the things you need to do. Like you put timers on stuff and.
Right.
All right, I'm going to go find some food. Peace.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you for coming. Let me move it right now, because if I don't.
I wish they put the leave button in the same place on every video conferencing software.
Huh?
The exit button's always in a different place.
Right.
I'll reach out to you probably tomorrow, and we'll chat some more, Teresa.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
You too.